Friday, April 10th, Probox TV will be presenting a middleweight battle that'll see Herbert Conceicao taking on Johan Gonzalez. Also, Francisco Veron taking on Raul Garcia. Probox TV has been putting on events for the past year and a half that have been stellar in the performance of the fighters. The fighters have been doing things to entertain and engage and elevate their fight games. What we're seeing is the best of boxing on the local circuit. Fighters that are still contenders and former title challengers, as well as sometimes former champions, who now have a platform where they can become more familiar to the casual observer of boxing by being on an accessible platform such as Probox TV, similar to the way that Tuesday night fights used to operate, as well as Friday night fights when it was on ESPN. When you have fighters that are operating under these type of circumstances, audiences can't help but become more familiar with them, especially when they're fighting multiple times a year, where the broadcast can fill you in and you see someone that is familiar because you watch the program on a regular basis. This helps build the sport. And so when you see a fighter like Herbert Conceicao, you may say, well, is he really good? Well, you'll find out because he's fighting frequently on the network or the app on YouTube. And this is a way that, again, the familiarity of fighters is important. Now, you know the guys who are at the top of the sport. They will always provide you something to refer and defer to for their careers. But this works very well when you talk about other fighters who you ordinarily wouldn't hear from. Conceicao enters this fight as a 28-year-old middleweight, undefeated, who's orthodox. He boxes well. He's about 6'1.5" with a 76.5-inch reach. Now Gonzalez, who has been in with who's who of the division, junior middleweight as well as middleweight, he's bringing experience. Coming in at the age of 35, he has 5 losses on his record and has been in with the likes of Erislandy Lara, Yoenis Tellez, Jesus Ramos Jr., and Jarrett Hurd, whom he upset back in March of 2025 with a split decision victory. You see, this is the type of fighter that someone like Conceicao needs because he wants to try to elevate in the sport. Now, Conceicao is coming in, his record is 10 wins, no losses. Gonzalez, who happens to be of the swarming sort, fights out of Venezuela and is a fighter that can be busy at times. He will apply pressure, he'll step back, he'll counter, and he does use technical ability from time to time. He's not just a winger or anything, he's a thinking man in there, and I would imagine he's going to try to utilize that experience against Conceicao, and it could pay off because of whom he's been in the ring with. This is the real step up for Conceicao, not necessarily Johan, but that'll be proven only if Conceicao happens to be a better fighter than they think going in. Overall, the type of matchup that we have here with these gentlemen facing off is the type that boxing fans will enjoy because both men are fighting for something. And you can believe that Gonzalez, when he upset Jarrett Hurd, he put himself in a position to be right back on the networks because no one had expected him to pull off the upset against Hurd, and Hurd has since retired. So this is what we have at the middleweight division. Now, when it comes down to the next fight, which is the co-main, Super welterweights Francisco Veron and Raul Garcia, both 27 years of age and coming off of strong victories. Both are orthodox and 5'10". This could be the fight of the night, believe it or not, and they have been noted to be upset-minded fighters. In his victory over Romain Villa, we saw Veron win a unanimous decision in November of 2025. And with Garcia, the Dominican won over Emiliano Moreno back in September of 2025. Altogether, this should be a pretty good card and worth tuning in to see. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDVC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Tune in and watch some quality boxing on Probox TV. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.